So in sections 5.5 and 5.6, we have some area of triangle problems that involve decimals, and we're going to solve some equations that involve decimals. So to find the area of a triangle, we're going to use the formula. The area is 1/2 or 0.5 times the base times the height. And so we're going to multiply 0.5 times 15.7 millimeters times 9.3 millimeters. And I am going to take my calculator to do this, and 0.5 times 15.7 times 9.3 is equal to 73.005, and this is going to be millimeters squared. Millimeters times millimeters is square millimeters for that area. Using the same formula, 1/2 the base times the height, we could actually do 0.5 times the base, which is 8.4, times the height, 6.6. Now you can just take half of 8.4, which is 4.2, and multiply that by 6.6 to shorten up your computation, or go ahead and multiply all three numbers. 4.2 times 6.6 is giving me 27.72, and that's square centimeters. All right, and to solve fractional equations, so here I have x plus 9.7 equals 14.38. And when we solve equations that involve decimals, it's not going to be anything different than what we've done before with integers and fractions. We want to get the x alone, so we are going to subtract 9.7 from both sides of this equation, and x is going to equal 4.68, and we can check that by replacing x with 4.68, adding 9.7, and making sure it equals 14.38. The next one is also a one-step equation. I have x minus 11.58, and to get the x alone, I want to eliminate the constant, so I'm going to add 11.58 to both sides of this equation, and x equals negative 35.34 plus 11.58 is 23.76. Next, I want to eliminate a decimal coefficient. So 5.6 is our coefficient, and we divide both sides of this equation by the coefficient 5.6, and m is going to equal negative 0.5. Again, you can check this by replacing 5.6, replacing m with negative 0.5, and making sure it equals negative 2.8. Next, we have y divided by negative 1.4. So since they divided, we are going to multiply both sides of this equation by negative 1.4. And negative 8.3 times negative 1.4 is 11.62. So now I have a two-step equation. I want to get the x alone. So first I'm going to use addition or subtraction to eliminate the constant, and then I'll be dividing by the coefficient. So first I'm going to subtract 17.3 from both sides of this equation. So 5.2x And 31.6 minus 17.3 is 14.3. And now I'm going to divide by the coefficient. And 14.3 divided by 5.2 is 2.75. I have another two-step equation. This time I'm going to add the constant, so plus 7.4 plus 7.4 on both sides of the equation. So negative 1.5x equals 23.7, and I will divide by the coefficient, don't change its sign, dividing by negative 1.5, x is equal to negative 15.8. All right, for the next equation, before I start solving, I have to simplify on the left. I'm going to use this distributive property. I'm going to multiply twice. So 0.05x, and then multiplying 0.05 times negative 4 is negative 0.2. And the right side of my equation is already simplified. This is going to take 3 steps to solve because I have variable amounts on both sides. I am going to start by subtracting 0.05x minus 0.05x, both sides of the equation, so negative 0.2 equals 0.04x minus 0.08. So now I'm going to focus on the right. I want to get the x alone. First I will add 0.08 on both sides of the equation. This is negative 0.12, which is equal to 0.04x. And I divide by the coefficient. 0.04, and I'm left with negative 3 equals x. And my last equation, the left side is already simplified, but I do have to distribute on the right side to eliminate the parentheses. So negative 74.9n plus 15.62 equals. Now I'm multiplying 0.6 times 21, which is 12.6 plus 0.6n. So I have a 3-step equation because I have variable amounts on both sides. My first step, I'm going to add 74.9n on both sides of the equation. So 15.62 equals 12.6 plus 75.5n. Now I'll focus on getting n alone on the right. So first I'm going to subtract 12.6 on both sides of the equation. So 3.02 equals 75.5n, and dividing by the coefficient 75.5, I have 0.04 equals n is my solution.